Okay, so Karen wants to print some brochures for her business. Okay, brochures are the little leaflets. If she goes for style 1, it will cost her $104 plus 10 cents per brochure. Okay, so for option 1, it's going to cost her $104 plus 10 cents per brochure. Okay, that's for every one. If she goes with style 2, it's going to cost her $10 plus 30 cents per brochure. So for number 2, she doesn't have as large outlay cost, but her price per unit, okay, is much higher. So it's 30 cents per brochure. Okay, how many brochures, okay, will the price for both styles be the same? Okay, so at what point will she pay the same amount of money if she orders, okay, a certain number of brochures? Okay, so see how you go working that out, and
Okay, so for this particular problem, we are looking at two different styles of brochures, okay, and the cost of what it would be to print those particular brochures. So for style 1, we're told that it's $104, okay, plus 10 cents for each brochure, okay. For style 2, it's $10 plus 30 cents per brochure. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up a few variables, and then we're going to use those to solve this particular problem. So we're going to say that C is the cost, okay, so the total cost of the brochures. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up an equation for style 1 and an equation for style 2, okay, so that's our first step. So we know that the cost, okay, C, is equal to $104 plus 10 cents for every brochure. So I'm going to use the letter B for the number of brochures, okay? So B for the number of brochures. And you'll remember that in between this 0.1 and the B, we have an invisible multiplication sign, okay? So that's the cost of style 1. The cost of style 2, so C equals, is going to be $10 plus 30 cents per brochure, so 0.3 B. Again, remember we've got a little invisible multiplication sign in between there. Okay, so the problem is, the question we're trying to answer is, for how many brochures will the price for both the styles be the same? So for how many brochures will the cost, okay, C, will the cost for both styles be the same? So what we can do here is we know that the cost is going to be the same. So we can actually make these two equations equal to each other. Now, that's what I'm going to do now, and this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to write out is 104 plus 0.1b equals, because remember they're going to be the same. They're going to be the same price, they're going to be the same cost. So we can write equals to this equation, 10 plus 0.3b, okay? Now, here we've got an equation that we need to solve. So in order to solve this, we need to get the b's on the same side, okay? We can't solve for b when they're on different sides, we have to get them on the same side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my algebra skills to rearrange this equation so that we've got both b's on the same side. Now where I'm going to start is I'm going to move this lot of b's over to the other side. So to get rid of the b's on this side, instead of adding 0.1b, we're going to subtract 0.1b. Now what we do from one side, we have to do to the other side, minus 0.1b. So now we're left with 104 on this side, which I will bring down to our next line of working, equals, we haven't done anything with the 10, so I'm going to bring that down. And here we have 0.3b take away 0.1b. Okay, now we're left with 0.2b's. Now that's our first step. Now we've managed to get the B onto the one side by itself, which is great. So now we need to get rid of everything else that's surrounding it. The first thing we get rid of is this 10 here. Now in order to get rid of 10, we subtract it. If we subtract it from one side, we need to subtract it from both sides. 104 take away 10 is 94. Equals to, this is cancelled out, 0.2 B. Now we haven't done anything with this, so we bring it down to our next line of working. So now we have 0.2 B is equal to 94. Now all I've done there is I've swapped the sides around so that we've got our variable on the left hand side here. Now we have 0.2, and remember we've got an invisible multiplication sign there. 0.2 multiplied by B. In order to get rid of multiply by 0.2, we need to divide by 0.2. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. These will cancel, and we're left with B equals 94 divided by 0.2, which is 470. Okay, so in order for the cost to be the same, okay, they will have to sell 470 brochures.
Cool.
Okay, so we've solved the problem. We've worked out how many brochures we need to sell in order for the cost to be the same. But let's check our solution. So what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly substitute our value for B, or our number of brochures, back into our equations to see if the cost is actually the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my equation for style 1, 104 plus 0.1b, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute in 470 in place of b. So I'm going to write 104 plus 0.1 multiplied by 470. Now I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to put that in. 104 plus 0.1 multiplied by 470, and that tells me the cost is going to be $151. So if you were to produce 470 brochures, it would cost $151. Now let's check if we get the same price for our style 2. So C equals 10 plus 0.3B. Okay, we're going to substitute in our number of brochures. 10 plus 0.3 multiplied by 470. We're now going to put this in our calculator. 10 plus 0.3 multiplied by 470, and look at that, we get $151. So the cost is the same, so therefore we are correct in saying that it would need to be 470 brochures.